This is Miss Anna, and if you clicked on this video, I already know something about you. Something in your relationship does not add up. Not in the way that relationships are complicated. Everybody knows relationships are complicated. In a specific way. In the way where things are going well, genuinely well, and then suddenly they are not. Not because something happened, not because you did something wrong, but because the air changed, because she changed, because out of nowhere there is tension where there was none, and a fight about something that makes no sense, and you are standing there trying to reverse engineer what you missed while she is already 3 moves ahead of you in an argument you did not know you were having. And the part that gets you is that it keeps happening. Different trigger, same result. Peace, then chaos, then apology, then peace again. And then chaos again, right on schedule, like something in her needs it. Like something in her cannot survive without it. I need you to stay with me, because I know exactly what that something is. I know because I was the one creating the chaos in real relationships with real men who deserved so much better than what I was giving them. And I'm going to tell you today not just what she is doing, but why. The real why. The one she probably cannot even tell you herself because she does not fully understand it either. That is the part nobody says, and I have been waiting to say it. Let me put you in a specific moment first, because I want you to feel this, not just understand it. Things have been good. A few weeks of actual good. She has been warm. You have been easy with each other. You went somewhere together or had a night in that reminded you of how things used to feel, and you went to sleep thinking, okay, this is real, this is us, this is what I have been working toward. And you woke up and something was off. You could feel it before she said a word, the way she moved in the kitchen, the way she answered a simple question with a tone that was not quite right. And you asked, and she said nothing. And you left it alone because you have learned that leaving it alone is sometimes the right move. And by afternoon, it was a fight. About something small. About something so small that even in the middle of it, you knew it was not actually about that. But you could not get to what it was actually about because she could not get there either, or would not. And by the end of the night, something that had been good was broken, and you were both quiet, and the quiet had weight to it. And you lay there in the dark, wondering what you did, what you always do, what you are always doing wrong in a story you cannot seem to read correctly. You did not do anything wrong. I need you to hear that before I say the next part. She created that, deliberately, not consciously, but deliberately. And here is why. Good feels dangerous to her. I know how that sounds. I know it sounds like the kind of thing someone says when they are making excuses for bad behavior. Stay with me, because I am not making excuses. I am giving you the mechanism, the actual engine underneath the behavior. Because once you understand the engine, the behavior stops being a mystery and starts being something you can actually deal with. Here is what happened to her long before she met you. She grew up in an environment where good things did not last. Maybe that was a parent whose moods were unpredictable. Maybe it was love that felt warm and then got withdrawn without explanation. Maybe it was a series of relationships where the moment she let herself relax into something, the something changed. The details are different for every woman, but the lesson is the same. The lesson her nervous system learned, not her mind, her nervous system, is that calm is not safe. Calm is the moment before the crash. Calm is what you feel right before the thing you were not prepared for arrives and takes everything. So when calm arrives in her relationship with you, something in her braces. Something in her goes on high alert. And that high alert, that internal tension that has nowhere to go, becomes unbearable after a certain point. And the only way she knows how to relieve it is to make the outside match the inside. If she feels chaos inside, she creates chaos outside. Because chaos she creates is chaos she controls. And chaos she controls is something she knows how to survive. I did this. I want to be specific about it because specific is the only thing that actually lands. I had a man who was steady. Not perfect, steady. He showed up the same way every day. He did not play games with his availability. He said what he meant. He was, by every measure, a good and reliable partner. And I was miserable in a way I could not explain to him or to myself. Not because he was doing anything wrong, because he was doing everything right. And everything right felt like standing on the edge of something very high. Because if this was real, and it felt real, then losing it would be the worst thing that had ever happened to me. And I was going to lose it. I knew I was going to lose it. Not because he gave me any reason to believe that, but because everything good I had ever had, I had eventually lost, and my nervous system had taken very careful notes. So I started pushing, not all at once, slowly. A comment here, a mood there, a fight about something small that was not about the small thing at all. I was testing the edges of him. I was applying pressure to see where he would crack. I was, though I would not have said it this way at the time, trying to find out what it would take to make him leave. Because if I could find that, if I could locate the thing that would break him, then I could control the ending. I could make it happen on my terms before it happened on fate's terms. I could choose the crash instead of waiting for it to choose me. He did not crack. He stayed steady. And the steadier he stayed, the harder I pushed. Because his steadiness felt like a door I could not find the edge of, and a door with no edges terrified me in ways I did not have language for. And I want to be honest with you about something that I think is the hardest part of this whole conversation. Part of me knew. Not the conscious thinking part, but some part of me knew what I was doing. And I did it anyway. Because the fear was louder than the knowing. The fear of losing him was louder than the understanding that I was the one who was going to make him leave. That is what chaos creation is. It is fear wearing the costume of behavior. It is a woman who is terrified of the thing she wants most, doing the only thing her nervous system knows how to do with terror, which is to make something happen so she stops waiting for something to happen. And here is what makes it so hard to catch from your side. The reasons she gives you for the chaos are always real. The thing she picked the fight about is always a real thing. The grievance is genuine. The frustration is genuine. But it is not the source. It is the vehicle. She found a real thing, and she used it to do something that was not about the real thing at all. Which is why when you fix the real thing, nothing actually changes. Which is why the fights keep cycling through different subjects, but landing in the same place. Which is why you feel like you are solving problems that do not stay solved. You are solving the wrong problem. The problem is not the dishes. The problem is not the tone you used. The problem is not the thing you forgot, or the thing you said, or the thing you did not say. The problem is that she does not know how to live inside something good without bracing for it to end. And she has never been shown another way. Now let me tell you the thing that is going to be the hardest to hear, because I have been building to it and I am not going to soften it. Your niceness has been making it worse. Every time you absorbed the chaos and then came back gentle, every time you apologized to end the fight even when you were not wrong, every time you made yourself smaller to make the temperature drop, you confirmed something in her that was already there. You confirmed that the relationship can be destabilized and you will stay, which sounds like loyalty, which is loyalty. But to her nervous system, it reads as something else. It reads as, this man will not hold the line. And a man who will not hold the line is not safe to relax with. Because safety, real safety, to a woman whose nervous system was shaped by chaos, does not look like endless accommodation. It looks like someone who will not be moved, someone who can feel the full weight of her fear and not collapse under it. Someone who will say clearly and calmly, this is not how we do this, and mean it every single time. You have been trying to love her out of the pattern. I understand that. It is the most human thing in the world to respond to someone's pain with softness. But her pattern does not respond to softness the way you think it will. Her pattern interprets softness as confirmation that she can keep going. And so she keeps going. What the pattern actually responds to is someone who does not participate in it, not someone who fights back, not someone who matches her chaos with his own, not someone who punishes or withdraws or goes cold, someone who stays completely warm and completely unmoved, who says, I see what is happening here, and I am not going to do this with you tonight, and then does not do it, and does not reward the doing of it, and does not apologize for not doing it, and shows up the next morning the same as he always was, without resentment, without a score to settle, just steady, just clear, just exactly the same. That is not easy. I am not going to pretend it is easy. It requires a kind of groundedness that most people have to work at. And it requires that you understand something about yourself in this dynamic, which is that your tendency to smooth things over, as good as it feels in the short term, as much as it comes from love, is something she is going to keep using as a handle until you stop offering it to her. I am telling you this because I was the woman on the other side of a man who was exactly that steady. And it was the only thing that ever got through. Not his patience, not his love, his refusal to be destabilized, his ability to look at me in the middle of chaos I had manufactured and say, without anger, without cruelty, I know what this is and I am not doing this with you. And then mean it. Every single time. It did not fix me immediately. I want to be honest about that too. Old patterns do not dissolve in one conversation, but it was the first time I had ever experienced someone who could hold me accountable without making me feel like I was being punished. The first time someone said no to the chaos without saying no to me. And that distinction changed something. Not all at once, but it changed something. To the woman watching this who sees herself in what I just described, I know you. I know how exhausting it is to live inside that fear. I know how much you love him and how much the love itself feels like the threat. The work is not in loving him less. The work is in learning to believe that good things can hold. That safety is not a setup. That the calm you keep destroying is something you are allowed to live in. That is not his work to do for you. That is yours. And it is the most important work you will ever do. To the man this video was made for, you are not crazy. You are not misreading the situation. The chaos is real and it has a source, and the source is not you. You have been trying to fix something with the wrong tools. Not because you are wrong, but because nobody gave you the right ones. Now you have them. Use them. Not as weapons, as a structure, as the shape of a man who knows what he will and will not participate in, and who loves her enough to hold that line even when holding it is hard. Because here is the thing I want to leave you with. A woman who creates chaos in a relationship is not a woman who wants to destroy what she has. She is a woman who is terrified of losing it and does not know any other way to manage that terror. That does not mean you have to absorb the chaos forever. It does not mean you have to wait indefinitely while she figures herself out. It means you now understand what is actually happening. And understanding is where every real decision begins. Drop your story in the comments. I am not asking for engagement. I am asking because I actually want to know where you are, what this stirred in you, what you are still sitting with. And if this reached something real, subscribe, not for the algorithm, because this channel exists for one reason only, to tell you the truth about love with enough honesty to actually change something. I am Miss Anna, eyes open, heart ready. I will see you in the next one.